Hi, I'm Christy.
And I'm Megan Yingling.
Oh, I'm Christy Schumann.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I'm just saying it.
Yeah. And today we are talking about weight loss hypnosis.
Yes, I'm going to ask the hard questions about weight loss hypnosis and see if I can stump her. Just kidding. No, help bring some more awareness around the topic. I don't know a whole lot about it, so I have my little questions here because I want to know everything there is to know about hypnosis for weight loss. Anything to share before the big questions start?
So the reason why I felt like this would be important is because I've had quite a few clients come in for weight loss hypnosis. Not him. That's Romeo.
If you can hear the cat meowing.
I mean, he might. He's so hungry for food. I'm like, I can't possibly be this hungry. But I have had clients come in and asking for weight loss hypnosis, and there's a package deal, and it's like usually 6 sessions. There's a reason why it's a package. We've already done all the research. It's, sort of like analysis paralysis. Like the research has already been done. The reason why there's a package of 6 is because we already know that it's not going to work if you just do one session. Because we're literally fighting against all of the narrative that someone has put into themselves for every second of every minute of every hour of every day of every week, month, year. So literally fighting against that constant subconscious narrative that's running in the back of your head. And so I have to go in there and peel things back and try and stuff better affirmations and better words and whatnot. But if someone is unwilling to commit to the 6 months, it's like committing to your antibiotics. If you're not going to commit to it, you're not going to see the difference. So just don't come to me for one session and be like, it didn't work. Hypnosis doesn't work on me.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I tried it. It didn't work. I don't want to spend the money. And I'm like, well, you're going to spend the money somewhere trying to accommodate what you're wanting. And it's not just what you're putting in, it's why are you putting it in?
Yeah.
What are you thinking about yourself? Why are you obsessively thinking about those pretzels? Why do you walk by a window and see a reflection and become repulsed? Why are you looking in the mirror and you only want to see from here up? Why don't you want to look at your whole body? Why aren't you appreciating your body? Why aren't you loving your body? Why aren't you grateful for what it does for you every single day? And so what I'm noticing with a lot of my clients is that they are coming in and they're getting 1 session or 2 sessions and they're already to toss in the towel because they're not seeing them dropping weight. I'm like, I'm not just dealing with that. I'm dealing with everything else. There's a lot more that goes into it. And so I felt that would be a great topic of conversation to address that and get people to understand that nothing is going to be a quick fix. Don't just jump onto Ozempic because, you might lose the weight, but there's still all that other stuff going on in there. You're still going to be thinking, I'm really feeling these negative things about myself. And it's not just losing the weight that's going to make you feel better.
Yeah, there's other things.
There's other things going on. And if we don't address those things, then you eventually have to come off of any said weight loss assist. Those things are going to come flooding back. So it's reprogramming your mind and fighting against something that was said to you when you were smaller or something you may have interpreted that I have to go in, or any hypnotist has to go in and fight against, eradicate that and put something better in so that when you're walking across the mirror, you're like, oh yeah, I see a little bit of a difference. I'm doing great. And then have grace with yourself and remember that your body is taking you through every single day.
Yeah.
Even if you're 100 pounds overweight or 20 pounds overweight or whatever it is that you'd want weight loss for, your body is still functioning for you. Your body's still getting you up in the morning, still moving your arms, you're still blinking, your heart is still beating. It is a miracle that we're even alive. The miracle it takes to be in a womb and be, moms can produce boys. She's giving a human a part that she doesn't even have. She's creating that.
I never thought about
in
it
her
like
own
that.
body. She's giving birthed us to a being that she doesn't have herself. Like, she's creating it in her womb. We are miracles. For us to be working and thinking and like what it takes for us to actually be alive is a miracle. So if we consider that we're going every single day as a miracle, we might have a little bit more grace with ourselves.
Yeah.
And we'll also think, okay, it's a lot of this has to do is mental. So do I have ADHD? Does my body not produce enough dopamine? Is that why I'm grabbing for things? Why I'm obsessively thinking about things? Is that, there's a lot of different reasons. And so I'm actually going in, I'm having to fight with a lot of stuff. So just one session or two, it's just not going to work. And so the more I'm deep diving into mental health and what it means to be obsessing about like a person, place, or thing, or what you've said, it all comes down to things that happened when we were kiddos. And it could have been something very benign to an adult, but very important to that child. So I have to go in hypnosis and like work through that. And then also, while I'm working through that by giving you positive affirmations, thing to say or things to think about yourself, I'm also putting in there like, hey, when you walk by a mirror, be grateful about how great you look, at how wonderful it is to walk, where before it wasn't very easy for you. Now it's easy for you. You don't have to look at your body and be disgusted. You can be appreciative of your body and be grateful to your body every day. And then incrementally, after the 6 sessions, you're going to notice that you feel much better. Maybe you've dropped 10 or 15 pounds afterwards. But it's not just, the hypnosis isn't going to be where you wake up or you come out of the hypnosis and you're suddenly like 15 pounds lighter. You're not going to not do anything else with your life because you've gone through hypnosis. It's me getting in there and fighting against things to get you to maybe move.
Yeah, because you are the facilitator for the change.
For the change, but the person actually has to do the change.
Yeah.
So maybe you didn't want to walk before. Now maybe you have a little bit more movement. Maybe you didn't want to take supplements. Now you're taking supplements. And so like, it wasn't the hypnosis. I'm like, it was because I decided to take supplements. I'm like, well, why did you decide to take supplements? Did you think I should start being healthier to my body?
Yeah. Because
guess what? We discussed that in hypnosis. And we put that in there. And we discussed it before you got on the table. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's because I've been walking. And why are you walking more? Did we discuss more movement? Did we talk about more movement? And is that why you're doing it? So it's not like hypnosis isn't going to go in and you don't see me with like a scalpel, like chiseling out your body.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is not a nip tuck situation. For those of you, it was a sitcom about like back in the 2000s. Plastic surgery. They have other things there now. Botched might be one of them.
Yeah, I think so.
But what I'd like to address is what they can expect from hypnosis and dispel myths, because I think people, they're like, oh, I took a risk and I did hypnosis and she promised me all these things. I'm like, yes, I did, but you have to understand like what that actually means. Like maybe you're not reaching for pretzels every day whereas you were before. Maybe you're thinking that you have control over how much you're eating. And so you're not going to see results for all of that like immediately. You might, or you'll notice it long term. It's like taking anything for that matter, even supplements. We were talking about that before. Like sometimes you won't notice it for 90 days, but you'll start to notice that you don't have brain fog anymore.
Yeah, it's doing the work.
Yeah,
and other levels while it's slowly helping you
like recalibrate. Change. Why would you want anything so drastic? Because you'll become dysregulated. Your body won't be able to handle it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it wouldn't be sustainable.
Right, because then you'll be like, oh, I can just take this and I'll go right back. And then it's so bad for our whole chemistry of our whole body, and our hormones will get all jacked up. So things have to be incrementally, which is why we have 6 sessions, because I'm fighting against a whole lifetime of things that have been in your head. So with that, I know you have a series of questions, and I am happy to
I
answer
mean,
them.
you touched on a lot of them already.
Oh, did I?
But I'm curious. So is 6 sessions like the sweet spot?
6 sessions is where we start to notice the biggest change. And I think what people want is that big change. And so it's hard to get people in to understand. I mean, and they think, wow, $600 and some dollars, that's like a lot of money. Or I can't even remember how much we charge, because I charge different prices at different places depending on the market. And so I'm not going to start charging like $1,000 in a market that could not possibly pay that, right? But is it worth it? It is worth it. Like, people are going to pay for Ozempic. People are paying for Weight Watchers, and that, I don't know how much that is per month, or how, like, I'm not going to make you weigh your food, or maybe that's what you want to do. But diets aren't necessarily the answer. It's like, it's taking care of your body. It's making better choices. You don't have to weigh your food. I mean, I just don't think so. But
yeah, it kind of sounds like you said that it's not a quick fix. It's not the magic bullet that some people might think it is, especially the people that are coming for the 1 to 2 sessions. So we've already dispelled that myth, which is great. We have the 6 sessions package. So they hopefully will come to each one, but they're doing the work. You're facilitating it. They're doing the work. So you're actually empowering them and giving that to them, which is great, because if you were in there like with the proverbial like scalpel, like you were talking about, you're not empowering them in that way, but this way, the actual way, you are, which is cool. So how do the sessions work? So you're focusing on, you said you dig in there and go back to other things that have happened to them and have them have different ways of thinking about it.
Well, we do an interview, and so each interview is just a little bit different. So if you came in for your first interview, I explain how hypnosis works. I ask, like, what is it that you when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you think? What do you feel? Like, I want to know everything. And they're like, well, when I see my hair, I like my hair. I'm like, those are all good things. Tell me everything. And they're like, oh, I really don't look at myself from the neck down. I'm like, well, why? Because I need to get into that nitty gritty. I need to you need to tell me everything you're thinking so that I can put it into the script and we can fight against it. There's a reason why you don't want to look at your abdomen. There's a reason why you don't want to look at your butt. There's a reason why you don't like your chest. Like, what is it that's going on? We need to discuss this, and we need to strip it. That's what we're here to do. We're here to strip those things away so that I can put in something better. And then, so we get through a series of interview questions. I take those words from the interview that you have said, you meaning anyone who's there with me, and I put that into the script that I think is appropriate for that first session. And while they have had their induction, which is when I put you into hypnosis, and you're completely aware of what's going on the whole time, you are absolutely in control the whole time. I'm just dealing with the subconscious. I bypass the consciousness and go into the subconscious, where the subconscious is constantly running. It picks up on every nuance. It picks up on everybody's face. It picks up on every blink. It picks up on every stop sign. It picks up on everything, and it stores it. The conscious is just there to protect us from dangers or make sure we say the right thing. But our subconscious can flood through, right? So they're like, oh, that's a Freudian slip. It's your subconscious, right? So while I'm working with the person on the table under hypnosis, or they could just be on a couch or in a chair, whatever they feel comfortable with, just need to say that. I work with them to get to what is the first, maybe like the most obvious layer, because then once we have more sessions, I get into more of what's going on and or what has been working for them, and try and dig in further with that. It depends on certain things that someone says. Like, I'll tune into it if they're really heavily talking about how, like, maybe in their third session they mentioned to me, well, I haven't been reaching for pretzels, but then I did, and now I feel bad about it. And I'm like, well, that seems like a lot of guilt and shame right there. And so I might want to cue into that in that session. Maybe by the third session, they're like, well, I walked past a mirror and I didn't feel so bad about myself. And I just noticed that instead of coming home and sitting down right away, I noticed that I'm up and walking around a little bit more, and I make sure that I prep my meals a little bit more.
Ooh.
But I'm not, I don't reach for like pretzels as much because I've been focusing more on like my food prep. I'm like, that's great.
Huge.
That's huge. And they might be like, yeah, but I'm not losing weight. I'm like, yeah, but you're not sitting down as much anymore. You have more movement. You mentioned in our first session that you wanted to do more food prep, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
In the session before that, you're berating yourself for having the pretzels, and I saw a lot of guilt and shame in that. And now what you're telling me is that you're actively making changes in your life to do more food prep, so that you're a bit more active in the kitchen making healthier choices. And I have to remind everybody, this is what we have to do. I have to bypass that shame and guilt for you making those choices. I have to move you to better choices. So movement, you've increased your movement. You haven't been thinking poorly about yourself when you see yourself in the reflection. You're doing more food prep. Like I have to remind them, these are the things that you wanted, and this is what you're doing. And you didn't come to that on your own. But the one thing that has changed was the hypnosis. And now you're doing it. And say by the fourth session, they're like, yeah, well, in the last like 3 weeks from our last session, what I did notice was I make really good food choices during the day, but at night is when I make bad food choices. And when I come home, sometimes I'm really tired and I just want to sit down. But what I did notice is that I think I've dropped like maybe 4 pounds, but it's just not where I want it to be. And I'd say, have you gained it back though? And if they say, well, no, I dropped it, but I haven't gained it back. You said that you wanted to lose weight permanently, and now you've made these changes. You haven't gained the weight back. And you're still doing everything. They're like, yeah. I said, we're helping you sustain.
Yeah.
That's what you asked us to do. That's what you wanted from this. You wanted healthier habits. All this is going towards the right direction.
Yeah.
And say by like their like 5th session, they come in, they're like, well, I've noticed that I'm taking the longer routes at work.
Walking more?
Walking a little bit more. And I've noticed that my abdomen is a little bit lower, so I've been able to wear different pairs of pants that I haven't been able to wear. But I think that's just because things are shifting. People are so ready to discount. And I'm like, don't do that. You've invested and it's working.
Mm-hmm.
But I know people are just automatically pretty cynical. And I'm cynical too. Because I don't want to admit that what I'm doing is actually the reason why it's working. Like I don't want to feel like I'm duped. Like I don't want to feel the shame of being duped.
Mm.
And so that's something else I'm working against when I say guilt and shame. I mean, shame comes in like various forms, just like guilt does.
Yeah.
And so my thought process is in that 5th session is there's no reason for you to feel shame. You're not being duped. We're actively working towards this. This is what you wanted, and this is where you were then, and this is where you are now. Now, you may have lost like another 3 pounds. Now we're at 7 pounds that you've lost. Yes, it's been like say like 4 months because, they have to be able to get in. So there's like scheduling that happens there too. That's all a factor. But where you were in that first session when you came in is not where you are now. You are a different person. You've lost your weight. You've added food prep for the evening. You're doing a bit more walking. You've noticed some weight loss, and you're not dismantling yourself in the mirror and being angry with yourself every time you see a reflection.
Yeah, those sound like a lot of small wins adding up and building up together.
Yes, but I'm also fighting against all the diets out there that are telling you can lose 10 pounds a month and you can do all these great things and you can do keto and you can
don't look at the side effects of these drugs.
Yeah, and by the way, don't worry about not being able to do keto for longer than 90 days because it can also disrupt your hormones and it can make you have brain fog, or which I really don't know, but weight loss diets, you have to know which one is right for your body.
Yeah.
You have to. It's not going to be, keto might not be right for a certain person with a certain body type and a certain like weight loss. It's like your body responds to things differently, just like exercises. So like by the 6th session in the package, they might come in, they'll be like, well, I can tell you that I'm at like 10 pounds that I've lost. And I guess I could say I'm a little frustrated, Christine, because I thought I would have lost more weight with this hypnosis. And I mean, I did buy the package, so I just saw it through, but I mean, I just don't know if it was really worth it. And my thought is, well, let's talk about where you were and your journey, because I've been making notes. So I remind them when they came in where they were. You wanted to lose 10 to 15 pounds permanently. You're at like 10 pounds right now. And you haven't gained anything back. You are no longer looking at yourself in the mirror and hating it. You're appreciating your body for what it is and how far it gets you through life. You've decided to move more. You have more movement. So you're not giving up your power in the evening. You've done more food prep and making better choices. So when you come home, you have a healthier choice. You've told me that you're not snacking as much, if at all. Say that they started taking supplements. I'm like, you've started taking some supplements, and that's helping your body be healthier. And you're talking more to people without it just being for your job.
Oh, I love this story. I know it's just a little hypothetical, but
it's not entirely hypothetical. So I'm like, you are not the same person.
Yeah.
You're not the same person. And what hypnosis does is we get into what is really there. So I had to work against guilt. I had to work against shame. I had to work against any type of negative reinforcements regarding your body. Like, did you always feel like you were chubby? Were people always commenting on your pooch? Were you always, like, when you were on the verge of like a really big thing, did you start to starve yourself? And is that why you thought you looked good? But that wasn't good for you, was it, to starve yourself? It wasn't good for you to do that. And you want to get back there, but you know that's not a good way to get back there. So now you're kind of stuck in this like unhealthy set of circumstances, making unhealthy decisions to get to an unhealthy spot in your life. Well, let's pull out some of these bad thoughts that were somehow placed there. Don't know how they got there. We don't need to figure that out unless you want to do Reiki, and then I can help you get that out. I mean, I want people to be healthy. I want people to see themselves as a miracle.
Yeah.
And be grateful for their bodies. Be grateful for what they contribute and notice that they are contributing. And so with weight loss hypnosis, it doesn't just take one session. I mean, if you want to come in and say, well, I want you to get me to stop eating chocolate covered pretzels that I get from Costco, and I would say, got it, I can do, that's the one thing you want.
So
me to
it can
stop.
pick like a food or like some foods and make them, I don't know, do you make them unappetizing or how does it work?
Yeah, I get them repulsed by it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that can just be one session, but if you're coming in for weight loss because you think you need to lose weight, it's going to take, I'm fighting against it. You have to eat every day. I have to fight against you being tempted all the time, and I'm only with you for like an hour, like once every 2 to 3 weeks. Like
the math isn't mathing.
The math isn't mathing. So that's why there's 6 sessions. Like I have to be able to get in there and put these little bits in, and then I also have to remind you, hey, you are doing different things. Things are working for you. And then we also do like a self-hypnosis that I think I would like integrate after the 2nd or 3rd session, because I'm like, maybe you should be listening to this on your phone every night before you go to bed to remind you.
I like that.
I haven't been implementing that just because I think like, are they really going to listen to it? They're going to have to use their phone. They're going to have to record me on it so that they can take it home and listen to it. It's called self-hypnosis.
That's cool. I mean, it's probably obviously not the same, but similar concept of recording your own affirmations or visualizations to listen to your own voice saying these things. So hearing someone else that you're used to in that situation give you
it's like
guidance.
It's like positive reinforcement.
Yeah, that's very cool. Do that.
Okay.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, does it make foods unappetizing? But you already just answered that. What about, can it help with weight loss in specific areas? I think it's called spot reduction.
Yes. So that would be something very, very, very specific. And what I would do for that would be getting that person to focus on that specific part of their body. Like if someone's like, I want to do weight loss, but just my butt. Can you do that? I'd be like, my answer to that is yes. So spot reduction, hypnosis on its own doesn't do spot reduction. If it's just weight loss, hypnosis, like it's not like everything that is organized through the weight loss scripts is not to do spot reduction. However, hypnosis can do anything. So I can get in there into your subconscious and get you to focus on exercising more in one area to generate your focus to do the stretches or the exercises that would assist for that area.
So the right movements, the right
movement, right? Like, so someone's like, "Well, I do all these exercises and none of them's working," and I'm like, "Well, right. So let's figure out why." Like,
yeah.
And then I also look into like somatic, right? What organs hold what type of emotion.
Yes.
That's very powerful as well. So there's a lot of somatic healing. There's a lot of people out there that are talking about somatic healing. They're bending you in certain positions. They got you breathing certain ways, and all of a sudden you're like crying, and they have you on film. It's embarrassing, right? But it's all good information
she won't
for
do
us.
That.
I'm not going to. I mean, I will if you want me to. I'll get certified in anything if you want me to.
I meant
no.
Film you crying.
Oh, don't film me crying. I might if you want me to film you crying.
No.
What's going on here?
Different.
It's a different turn. Though with spot reduction, it can be just geared towards that specific body part.
Okay.
So, I'm doing all these exercises, but I still have this pooch. I'm like, well, let's really examine why. It could be for other reasons. If it's the pooch in the front, it's usually because of cortisol, and that is because you are addicted to cortisol or like your adrenaline. And so are you a procrastinator? Are you a last minute? Are you type A? Like some of those things we're addicted to having that hit. And so then we tend to have those pooches. So then my thought is, well, I'd have to know enough about the human body and enough about like cortisol or different hormones. So I would have to go in a completely different way. Like you have to go for like mental health. You were talking about going into different ways, like through like having your body be healthy, taking different supplements, probiotics, prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics. See our video is an Easter egg. But like, okay, so let's talk about that then. It's not necessarily a weight loss thing as it is like, why do you feel that you need to be stressed out in order to get things done in your life?
Yeah, because that's probably stemming from something else.
It's stemming from something else. And so those are the types of questions that I would start to ask. So yes, spot reduction can help get someone focused in that area. But then I also have a lot of questions I would be asking, like, well, depending on what that spot is, I wonder why it's there.
Why that spot?
And so we would have to address that. And then they were like, well, I'm not here for mental health. I'm like, well, okay, but you are.
It's all connected.
But you are here for mental health.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's so interesting. I had no idea about any of this. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Different ways to help people. I love it. Anything else you want to share about hypnosis for weight loss?
I would say with weight loss, hypnosis, be cognizant of what you're coming in for. If you are, say, like 75 pounds more overweight, just know that you're definitely going to get that package because you want to see a difference, right? But I'm probably fighting against not only some of the choices that you've been making for multiple years, but I'm also fighting against any kind of mental health stuff that may have happened when you were a child. And I have to go in there and reconfigure things. And I'm not doing that in a manipulative way necessarily. It's not where I'm going to go in there and like make you like a serial killer. So I have to go in there and I have to, like in the interview, I have to start identifying things. And then I have to work that into the script so that I can address them while you're laying there or sitting there, whichever. And I have to get you to stop believing those things about yourself. I have to start peeling things away. And even it's almost like having a cut and I'm peeling it away and I have to like redress it so that it's healthy. Otherwise, what you're going to do is you're just used to putting like salt in the wound because you're used to it. You just keep damaging yourself and damaging it. You're like, yes, but I deserve this. I deserve this. I deserve this. And I'm like, no, you don't deserve it. I don't know who said that to you. Let's go in there. And as I peel it back, I start cleaning out the wound and I start to heal it with you. But then you might peel it back and want to put salt there because you're used to it. And I'm like, no. To come back and I have to start healing it again for you. And you're like, well, I kind of like this healing, but I don't believe it's because of this. And you peel it back and you start putting more salt. I have to actively fight against those things every single time someone comes in. So 6 sessions for someone for weight loss is absolutely necessary because it's not just about getting them to stop and being repulsed by something. I can get that done in 1 session. I'm actively fighting against all that like mental health stuff too.
Yeah, it's a bigger.
It's a bigger thing. And people don't want to spend the money. I think you find that a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's an investment. They don't want to do it.
Well, they see the dollar amount.
Or they can't afford it right then, so they have to do an a la carte thing. And so my thought is, well, I can help you. I definitely can help you with the a la carte. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. Those people who do the a la carte, they're less likely to come in because they haven't invested in it.
Yeah.
It's like people who rent. They're like, well, I'd rather rent and pay month to month than buy a home and be like stuck there. But there are benefits of having a home, right? So, you know, it's like that too. Like, what are we really investing in? What is the benefit? And maybe this person only needed to really come in to lose 10 pounds and keep that 10 pounds off and just have a better attitude about themselves. Great, because that's what their goal was.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm here for it. Because eventually they'll probably start to lose a little bit more weight because they're making better choices, and it'll be slower, which means it'll be more permanent.
Yeah,
because
more
they've made permanent changes. That's why we jump in and do it. For those people who want to lose weight quick and they want to do, then I would say just come and talk to me about repulsion. If you feel like you just cannot stop that mint shake from Culver's, you have to have one every day.
There's a mint shake at Culver's.
You can ask for it.
All right.
It's like a shamrock shake.
Noted.
I'm
Sorry,
really talking about myself at this
Didn't know
point.
about that one.
Then I would say, well, let's talk about repulsion. Tell me what you're repulsed in, and then we would gear it towards that.
Okay.
Or if you're like, I don't want to be disgusted in the mint shakes. I just want to be disgusted in Culver's, so that I don't spend the money there and I make my own because I like my own.
Oh.
So then I would
different options.
So it's different options. So I would get you to be disgusted in going to Culver's to get it, but you can make it at home on your own. So when you're going out somewhere, I would get under hypnosis, I would get you to think like, oh, they're gonna put a hair in there, or there's some phlegm, or there's a bug, or like the vast number of things are wrong with it, right? But that's all Culver's. But when you go home, you know how you're making it, so you won't be disgusted in it.
Oh, that's so interesting.
I had that done for Starbucks, actually.
I've noticed that you haven't had. You used to have one
almost every day.
Yeah.
And then I cut it off. I had her do hypnosis on for Starbucks, and I backed off, and I just made my matcha at home.
Wow.
But during the winter months, I want something hot, and so I would go and get a Starbucks. But it was just because I don't have anything I can put something hot in, and I don't have like the whole like process. Otherwise, if I could do the process.
But even cutting it down from that's huge.
It was every single day. It was like a job during COVID. It was my job to get up, go to Starbucks, and go to the lake. And that's what I did. Wow. So I had to stop that. It's expensive. It was like almost $300 a month I was spending at Starbucks.
No good.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
that's cool. The power of the repulsion.
Right. And so that's one of the tools I use for people who want to they don't want to do something very specific. And so I'm like, okay, great. Then I can be one session. I can do that one session. If someone's like, I got a lot here, I'm like, well, you need to get the package.
Save some money, get the package. It'll make you more likely to go and actually do it, so that you can do the work and learn the things and feel better. Yeah. And so I don't know, that's what I wanted to talk about with weight hypnosis is understand what you're coming in for. Understand
what any hypnotist is having to fight against. And also be aware that you are probably having changes, and honor those changes.
Yeah.
They might not be what you wanted. You're not, by like the 6th session, maybe you didn't drop 50 pounds. But with hypnosis, these are supposed to be permanent changes. Same thing with anxieties. Like, we're going in and maybe we can get you to get on an airplane. And maybe it'll work for maybe you only needed 1 session, or maybe it only worked for that one time and now you're back there. I'm fighting against you. This is your brain. Like, I have to.
Sure, you did. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't. But I mean, take power over your thoughts. Like, there's something going on there, and I have to like go in and I have to like remove it. It's almost like mental surgery. I have to go in there and figure it out and put something else in there, and then you can go fly, or you can go up an escalator, or whatever whatever it is, or you can pet a dog.
That's amazing to be able to help people that way on that level. So if someone watching this was like, hey, I got some weight that I'd be great, or I'd love to not have around me, wherever that spot is, and I've got some time and I've got some money I'm willing to invest because I want to feel better and I really want this for me, now is the time. What's the best way of getting a hold of you?
Well, if you are in the Milwaukee area, I work at 2 different places as well as on my own. So the places that I work are Origins of Wellness in Greendale. I offer hypnosis there. I also work at Live Oak Health in Oak Creek. I offer hypnosis there. And then I also offer hypnosis at my own place. But you can directly connect with me on YouTube, which is Blondie's Stuff. You can probably just look up Blondie's Stuff on YouTube. Deborah Ryan 1 on Instagram, and under Christy, Kristy Schumann, SCHUMANN on Facebook. You reach out to me and let me know that you're interested in hypnosis. If you are not in the area, I can still do hypnosis over FaceTime or Zoom. And it is very beneficial. I've gotten people to stop smoking, and I've gotten people to do like 1 session repulsion over carbohydrates.
Very cool.
And so it can work. We're not doing age regression over Zoom, so I wouldn't do that. But I can. We'd have it facing where I would be able to see you and be able to communicate with you to get you through the hypnosis session, and we should be fine with that. And I would encourage you to be patient with your body, be patient with your mind, have grace. Remind yourself if you want weightless hypnosis and you're game for the 6 session package. And just FYI, I charge differently depending, like I said, in the markets, I charge differently. So you'd have to reach out to me and find out how much. Like, if you're in the Milwaukee area and you go to one of the places I offer it, that's great. If you're online, it would be something separate, come directly from my business. So if you're interested in the 6 session, which I would encourage for weight loss, I would say definitely pay it up front so that you are committed, and have grace with yourself, have realistic goals. We'll talk about those goals, and don't be afraid of making the necessary mental changes in your life that you need to make, because it's not just going to be for weight loss. It's going to be it's going to permeate through other parts of your life, just like the decisions that you've had mentally have permeated into your gaining weight and having poor self-image, maybe not having the courage to talk to other people, maybe you're procrastinating because you don't want to feel success or you feel failure. It kind of has tentacles and goes out. So if you start noticing a change, that now you're not procrastinating anymore, now you're talking more to people on the street, that total strangers, you don't have a problem sitting next to people you don't know anymore. It can actually permeate to other things in your life. Those are just some big obvious examples, but some small ones could be, I've noticed that I go to the store and I buy more produce. Awesome. I've noticed I'm not going in the aisles. Awesome.
Yeah.
All these little things are wins. And I think that if I could really influence someone to notice their wins and avoid being cynical, that it's not, if you've only changed one thing, it's that one thing. And I wouldn't be like, okay, now you need to do all these changes and then you can't isolate which one happened. So I would say, like, do hypnosis and go from there. If you make certain changes from that, then it's the hypnosis, and you'll have like ripple effect of how it impacted other things, like taking supplements or whichever. And I would say you're worth it, and don't believe yourself when you say you're not. Don't believe yourself if you think that you're unworthy or that you'll always be this size or that you'll always have this mindset. You won't. Don't believe the negative, like the guilting, the shaming, the belittling of yourself. Don't believe those. Don't believe those thoughts. Those aren't your thoughts. No, you did not put those there. Somebody else put them there. They don't belong to you. Get rid of them. I can help you get rid of them, but you're going to have to trust me, and you're going to have to trust yourself.
That's so beautiful. I love your passion about this. So I hope that you learned a lot. And then if you have any other questions about this or need more information or want to schedule the sessions
or interview or consultation,
you know where to find her.
You do. I've given you a lot of information.
All right. So signing off now, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right. Bye.